Onyx, a show where we talk about all things Onyx and meet some of the pros behind your coffee. I'm your host, Elika, and today we've got Dylan Siemens.
Hello.
Welcome,
That's me.
Dylan.
How's it going, Elika?
It's pretty good. Welcome to Hooked on Onyx. We're going to learn a little bit about you, Dylan Siemens. We're going to talk about our Roaster's Choice subscription box. We're going to unbox some coffee equipment, and we are going to make a seasonal beverage. How does that sound?
That sounds great to me. I mean, pilot episode, right?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Let's do it.
So, Dylan, what do you do at Onyx?
I am the head trainer here at Onyx, so teach baristas, all the barista stuff, and yeah, do some menu development, and yeah, that about covers it.
That about covers it. Do you find that enjoyable? Is that fun? What's like your favorite part of doing that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, I love teaching, so I think that's the thing I enjoy doing the most, working with new baristas. Yeah, teaching people how to make better coffee. But here lately, I've really enjoyed making menus and coming up with drinks and just like, yeah, finding inspiration out there to come up with cool drinks.
That's really cool. I mean, we have a ton of new drinks on the menu, a ton of new baristas also, you know, all throughout the cafes. Everything looks a little bit different right now. But yeah, we've got, what, 4 cafes right now? The 5th coming on the way. How long have you been around Onyx?
I started in Onyx in like late 2012.
Dang.
Yes. Yeah, I was a young boy. I was green. I was not really
You were green,
unroasted, not doing anything.
So
And
fresh.
yeah, just started as a barista at Onyx and then moved into training shortly
About
thereafter.
how long was that?
I was a barista for a couple of years.
Before moving into training?
Yes.
Okay, so about 2014.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, is when I started training. Yes.
So you started in Onyx, 1 cafe, 1 roaster. By the time you started training, 2 cafes?
Yeah, 2 cafes by then.
2 cafes?
Pretty much. And then we moved the roaster to the roastery by that point. And then after that, yeah, we opened up Bentonville, Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2012, young, green, unroasted, freshly sourced Dylan Siemens crosses the threshold at Onyx Coffee Lab. Now, wow, 7 years later, like how is Onyx different now from when, you know, you first came in, and like did you really see it becoming what it is today?
Onyx was both different and the same, I think. It was different in the sense that, like, I think everybody was still figuring out what exactly it is we wanted to do at that point. I mean, coffee moves really fast as well. And so, you know, the amount of things we know about coffee now or know about ourselves is just not the same as back then. But
Yeah.
I think the overall vision of Onyx is still the same in the sense of, like, just finding really good coffee, making drinks at, like, the highest quality we can, and understanding what good customer service looks like. So I feel like those kind of overarching things are all the same, but obviously nothing ever really looks like what you'd imagine. But yeah, I think just between growing and competitions and just all that sort of stuff, I don't think I ever could have really foreseen what we become at this point. And it's not like we're huge, but
Yeah.
I think,
You maybe not even foresee like what you would become.
Sure. Yeah. I had no idea really when I stepped into being a barista. I was just there to be a barista, and so, you know, having the chance to like meet people around the industry, I think heavily influenced the way I approached coffee at home and my training. I think maybe that's like one of the biggest things that has really helped us, you know, in terms of just like getting out there and meeting more people within the industry and seeing, you know, what are people into, what's new, what's different, what could we bring to the table that maybe nobody else has had.
For sure.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
It's a bigger industry, I know, than what I thought of when I first started in coffee, especially starting in specialty coffee in Northwest Arkansas. Competitions, just as Onyx has grown, I mean, the world of specialty coffee has really expanded. You're a very competitive person. You have competed. You do a lot of training. You know, we teach pour overs, you make these menu items. What's like your go-to method to get a cup of coffee in the morning?
I mean, when I'm at home, I just make coffee pots. I have to drink like 2 or 3 cups in the morning, and then I don't really drink much coffee throughout the day at all
So how
until
big of a
training.
coffee pot are we talking in the morning?
Batch brew is my go-to method.
So like you drink a gallon of coffee in the morning and then, you know, coast it out for the rest of the day?
Yeah, no, I've got a little Bonavita at home.
Okay.
And I have an espresso machine at home. I'll make an espresso every now and then, but
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I drink less and less coffee in the morning nowadays because we drink so much while we're training.
Yeah.
And but as far as like manual brew methods, I love the Kalita Wave. That's what I've always brewed on. V60's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about
So
where I land. I
your
haven't tried all
go-to-
these new brew methods.
Your go-to brew method is whatever gets you the most coffee in the morning, and then whatever seems pretty fun or convenient maybe in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, really my favorite brew method is Elika Liftee. He like makes a lot of good coffee in the training lab, and so that's where I go for most of my coffee.
I'll drink to that.
That's right. That's right.
So you're competitive. You are the 2017 U.S. Brewers Cup champion. That year, you also competed in Coffee Masters,
Yeah,
right?
I
Which
did.
you've competed in twice.
Yes, Coffee
right?
Masters twice.
Yeah. How many?
No, 3 times.
3 times.
Yes, 3 times.
Dang. How many competitions have you gotten second place in?
I've gotten second place in Coffee Masters. I've gotten second place in Barista, right? I think. I've gotten second place at least twice.
Okay.
Twice. Definitely once in Coffee
least
Masters, and definitely once in either Barista or Brewers. I got second place, yes.
Do you see yourself competing again?
I don't know. I mean, I love competition. I judged last year for the first time, which was, well, not last year. Last year doesn't exist. I judged one time recently, and that was really fun. So I'd be super interested in continuing to judge, but I don't know. I love the barista competition, and I could see myself definitely going back to compete one day, maybe.
Absolutely. So, judging was fun.
Judging was great.
Would you like to compete again?
Yes, yes. Just because I like competing, I like coming up with that full script, and it feels really satisfying to execute on it. But judging was a different kind of satisfaction for sure. I don't know. Sitting in front of all the competitors and like receiving what they're putting out is like a whole different thing, and it's really, really awesome.
I'm sure it's a completely different experience. I haven't judged, but I assume it's very different.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Just a completely different perspective from the other side of the veil.
For sure.
Yeah. 2017 U.S. Brewers Cup champion, second place in Coffee Masters. I don't care what anybody says, Dylan. I don't think you've peaked yet.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see. 2017 sounds like a long time ago now, which is weird.
It's so long ago. 4 years. All right, let's talk about this week's Roaster's Choice.
Yes.
We've got Ethiopia Worka. I consider this coffee like the quintessential Ethiopian coffee. It's from Yirgacheffe, wash process, 2,000 meters above sea level. It's its growing region. We've got Earl Grey tea, blueberry, lemon. Literally checks every single box of definitive Yirgacheffe coffee. Have you had Worka?
I have had Worka. Yeah. I love this coffee. It is extremely clean,
Exceptionally.
silky smooth. It just hits right. You know, it's a good coffee.
Yeah. I like to brew Worka traditionally as like a hot Kalita. It's kind of my go-to, or batch brew. Really great batch. What are some ways you like to use Worka?
Hot Kalitas, pour overs, any pour over, iced brews. You can make ice pour overs with this coffee, and it's really exceptional. We had it on our espresso for a little bit as well, and it was pretty good espresso.
Nice.
It worked well with smaller milk drinks, not so much the bigger milk drinks. Subtle notes can get kind of lost, but yeah.
Do you have any tips for people trying to dial it in at home? Anything they might change from, say, if they're traditionally brewing like Southern Weather, how might they change it for Worka?
So yeah, I would say compared to your more traditional like blended coffee, you're definitely going to want to grind a little bit coarser and you should expect it to brew a little bit longer than normal, even at that coarser grind. That's totally okay.
Right.
And yeah, I would say if it feels a little dry, just keep going coarse. Just keep going coarser. But yeah, I think that would about cover the details. Otherwise, I feel like it acts fairly normal or fairly predictable for most Ethiopias.
I would agree. I mean, we're looking at really high elevation at 2,000 meters. Heirloom varietal, really dense coffee, needs a little bit more time, needs to be a little bit more coarse, but look for that balance. There's sweet, fruity notes as well as a slightly drying black tea finish in there. So really great coffee, and we should expect to have that as an offering for quite a while. If you're interested in the Roaster's Choice subscription, this is our most popular subscription service. You get a different single origin offering for each order. You can choose your size and frequency of your order, and you can find out more information on our website. A great way to keep your Roaster's Choice fresh is with this thing right here. We have a fellow Atmos vacuum container. Dylan, have you seen these things around?
I've seen these things around. I put some coffee in them once or twice.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions from customers, from industry professionals about how to keep coffee fresh or how long coffee is fresh for. And you'll actually find a pretty detailed blog post on our website that I think covers a lot of details. And one of those things we cover is also this fellow Atmos. So Dylan, let's unwrap this. Let's see what we're dealing with. Wow.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Papers.
Fellow sure knows how to generate an experience. Nice, nice. All right, I'll let you reveal.
Wow. Oh, this is cool.
This one is cute.
Yeah, they have snow cones on it. Yeah, we got the Atmos here. So this is a nice little vacuum container for your coffee. There's lots of different sizes. This is actually the smaller one, but it's a pretty cool size.
This is. It's like if you've seen their Brewers, I think this really matches their aesthetic of like matte black, very nicely made stainless steel. So it's a vacuum container. The lid activates as a pump as you twist it. And then you have a little indication knob here at the top that tells you when you have sucked out all the air that this thing can do. So some reasons why this is good. Essentially, your coffee aging, the flavor change is predominantly due to oxidation. So whenever your beans are being attacked by the environment, and so whatever ways we can eliminate the environment from our beans, the longer we can extend its shelf life, right? And so in what ways is this going to be good for doing that?
Well, I mean, it's completely closed away from the environment. But yeah, and it's completely airtight. And so, you know, you're not going to be losing as many like aromatic compounds. Your coffee isn't going to be gaining any sort of moisture, any sort of light damage. And that's really the biggest thing here is just, you know, keeping it out of the air, out of the light, and yeah, dark, you know, room temperature. And I think the fact that it can't basically, you know, degas, I guess, as quickly, or you can't lose all of those compounds is, you know, you're going to keep a lot more of the aroma and a lot more of just, I guess, the flavor intensity of your coffee for a longer amount of time.
Yeah, I know they make this different sizes and a couple different materials. I prefer this matte black one. Like Dylan said, it keeps out the light in addition to the air, keeping it more temperature stable, and in addition to that vacuum thing. So you can take it out of the bag, your coffee out of the bag, you can put it into an Atmos, and you'll extend the life. In my experience, at the very least, several months. You know, I keep my coffees that I'm going to drink more slowly. So if I purchase a really nice coffee, or if I just drink it more slowly, I'll put it in the Atmos, seal it up, and I mean, I still have really good coffee, like months and months. I just brewed coffee last weekend out of the Atmos that has been in there for about 3 months, and it tasted super fresh. It was super aromatic, ground really well. So I've got that exact container at home that I use.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can take that with you.
Oh, really? You mean it? Thanks.
You're welcome. Dylan, you've played your hand at menu development.
Sure.
Sure. So why don't we head over to the fireplace and you can whip us up a drink.
Sounds good to me. I love fireplaces. All right, here we go, making a drink. I'm taking over the show now. Yeah, we're gonna make a drink that I thought would work well with this Roaster's Choice coffee. This drink is on our current menu. The menu, for the most part, is inspired by lots of Japanese flavors, but this is the one drink that kind of breaks away from that mold. So, it is called the Blintro, or the Blintro. It is inspired by basically flavors we enjoy from, blueberry pancakes, maple syrup. This coffee, the Worka, has, flavor notes of blueberry, so I think it really works with this drink. But we'll talk about some variations you can do to kind of make it your own as well. So, first thing we're gonna start out with is we just have some cold brew of the Ethiopia Worka. I would recommend just making like an iced pour over with it. You could do a toddy or a concentrate of it. You could even put it on nitro. But yeah, you just need 7 ounces of cold Ethiopia Worka. Pour that over some ice. Done and done. All right, now we are going to make a blueberry foam. It's kind of a semi-foam to go on top and to kind of mix into this drink. And this is where you can kind of make the drink your own. Basically, you just want to use low-fat milk. I got 2% milk here. I'm gonna use 3 ounces of it. The lower the fat, the better your foam's gonna be. Then I'm gonna use 1 ounce of a blueberry syrup that you could make just boiling sugar and water down with a bunch of frozen blueberries. You could get some blueberry extract. You can kind of go crazy with blueberry flavor however you want to. And like I said, you could do any syrup with this, honestly. I've done this drink with cold brew and then made a foam with like just vanilla syrup, and it's really tasty. And it just kind of adds a different element to your drink. Got a couple ice cubes in here. I'm gonna shake it up. Honestly, probably should have shaken it with maybe just some like wire, shaker balls. That'll make you a better foam than ice will. But this looks really cool when the purple kind of hits the drink and mixes in. And then you get a little bit of a blue foam up on top of the drink. That looks really cool as well. Set that to the side. And then the last thing to finish out this variation of this drink is just a couple spritzes of some maple extract. So yeah, you've got the base flavor of the coffee, and that's mostly what you taste in this drink. And then just a little bit of low-fat milk and some blueberry syrup kind of mixes into it and adds some texture, adds some more depth of flavor, and a little spritz of maple for just some smells. And yeah, that's the Blintro. Like I said, you could, do whatever syrup you want in the foam and do whatever spritz you want on top, and it's gonna be really good. So yeah.
Well, Dylan, thank you for whipping up a beverage, telling
welcome.
us a little bit about it, and for joining us on this pilot episode of Hooked on Onyx.
Happy to be here. Yeah.
I'm happy to have you.
Yeah.
I only work with you every single day, and it's great to see you here at night too. I couldn't let you go without having gathered some quotes from our staff.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna take turns reading some of these quotes about you, our precious Dylan. So here are these circled portions, and I'm gonna start it off. All right, Dylan is probably Onyx's most loyal customer. He started coming to Onyx before it was even called Onyx.
It's true. I drank many frozen blended drinks in buildings that were to become Onyxes. Correct. I read the next one?
Yeah.
All right. He has a hat obsession.
He does have a hat obsession.
I feel like obsession is strong.
It needs to be strong.
I don't have many hats. I have one hat. Basically. I'm sorry. Keep going.
I feel comfortable with failing around him. He's always so encouraging.
That's very nice.
It was nice.
He always does the nod and what's up greeting. It's
I
fair.
can literally see you in a Zoom square. What's up?
Yep.
Dylan is genuine, funny, and always does what he can to help.
That's nice. Wow. I once had a dream about Dylan that he beat me in the most beautiful eye contest. Sorry.
I've had that dream.
I was gonna say, that was you.
Had
That was
dream.
absolutely you who wrote that. Just kidding.
Sometimes I find myself wondering, where's Dylan? And then I imagine he's probably somewhere on the other side of the world finding new exotic ingredients for drinks. And then closely followed by, I'm pretty envious of his finds from Gap. He always has the best hoodies. Hey, you gotta hit them sales.
You have to hit the sales. Dylan has nice eyes, thighs, and that's not a lie. I appreciate that. I've never gotten a thigh compliment before.
Hey, this isn't gonna be the last.
No.
His dog is awesome.
That's true.
Your dog is awesome.
That's true.
I want to see your dog.
Undisputed.
Next guest.
Next guest. I wish he was allergic to more things.
It'd be a shorter list of things you're not allergic to.
Yeah, and just probably wouldn't eat.
Yep.
He was the U.S. Brewers Cup champion in 2017. He might have peaked then. We've already spoken to this. Elika said no.
He's not peaked. You're like the bimodal curve of a peak.
That's a good joke.
Dylan is the epitome of selfless brilliance.
Holy cow. That's
quite the compliment.
quite the compliment. Those are two very good words back to back. That's very
Selfless
nice.
brilliance. He also likes the veggie tart a lot.
That thing slapped. Where did it go? Listen, I eat all the things in our pastry case, and yeah. Number 15. Dylan is the most talented coffee professional I've ever worked with. He's excellent in every way, kind, considerate, and passionate. He also dates babes, so there's that. We used to call him DDB for Dylan Dates Babes. That was a time.
That was a time.
The rest of that was...
Pretty sure that URL still exists.
I think it is a URL. I don't even know how that started, honestly,
baby
but...
blues. Look, it's them baby blues. There's blue eyes and there's thighs.
I should have named the Blintro Baby Blues. I don't know why I didn't.
Man, that would have been the
That'd have been
best.
very good. Well, that's all very sweet.
Well, this was fun. I'm glad we got all of those quotes. I think every one was 100% true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade any of these for a gilded Blintro.
I'll be able to Blintro. Wow. Well, thank you, Elika. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Dylan, and thanks for joining. Bye.
So long.
How should we sign off? I like it.
Yeah, I think that's
I like the bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, I need to stop drinking nitro.